A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
We are back where it all started, and tonight for some it may all end here as well. It is the penultimate round of racing with Truck 200, season number 3, chase round number 4. It's here at the biggest and the baddest, as Garrett Rainey said, it's Talladega. Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of Truck 200, our soon-to-be deceased flagship show here on the channel. It's Tommy Cook and it's Matt Williamson. Partner, there's nothing like it. It's Trucks at Talladega.
Yep, this is what we live for, Tommy. It's one of our favorite nights every time we get it, if it's Talladega or Daytona, but specifically Talladega for the two of us. It is always fun, action-packed, exciting for the fans, and it's a favorite of a lot of the drivers as well, although there may be one driver in the field that was probably wishing this wasn't the race he had in front of him tonight.
Certainly, and I have a guess as to who you think that driver may be. Lots of twists and turns last week on the road course, and also twists and turns in the point standings as well, heading into the penultimate round of the championship.
Here's the points after our road course round at the Kansas Roval. Justin Michael now astutely atop the points. He is 112 points above second place, who is now Matt Schlosser. Matt Schlosser sits in second after Gavin Sanders had, I don't know if I ever heard what happened. It might have been a hardware.
GPU issue.
GPU issue. Yep, sure was a hardware issue there for Sanders. So that was very, very unfortunate for Gavin. So he now finds himself third in the points, 132 points back. Those three are really the three that we are eyeing to have a shot at the championship. Logistically and points-wise, Patton, Widener, and Hunter Engrav technically, mathematically, are not out of it as of right now, but I believe they will have to be within, 235
223
points?
is the exact number.
223 points they will have to be within to logistically have any sort of a chance to win the championship after tonight. So as you can see, Patton is well above that right now. So really Sanders, Schlosser, and Justin Michael are the three that we're looking at to have a shot next week.
Well, it's 76 laps, 200 miles here tonight at Talladega. It is the Layton River Ellison Memorial. Originally, this race was scheduled for a couple weeks ago. Of course, we had some things happen during the Christmas break that pushed the schedule back. This was originally going to be on the same week as the Michigan race for the Venom Truck Series. Tonight's race sponsored by Kyle Zittel. Thank you to him very much. Hello to Paul Ellison, if he may be watching out on the road. Hopefully you stay safe. It was great to share the track with you again last night in the SRL Xfinity Series. Yeah, we're going to do it here tonight at Talladega, the Truck 200 iteration of the Layton River Ellison Memorial. And the starting lineup will look like this. Getting ready for 200 miles at Talladega. James Lehman is on the pole with a 55.303 in the newly art-updated 2.66 mile superspeedway. Matt Schlosser will start to his outside. He needs a good points night. Gavin Sanders needs a big points night as well. He'll start in third. Hunter Engrav will line up to his outside. He is nearly out of contention. Realistically, he is with only 26 trucks here tonight, but he'll still try to go for a big win nonetheless. Zachary Tyler going to make his debut with Truck 200 here tonight. He'll start in fifth with the Season 1 winner flanking him to the outside. That is Steve Roman, the winner of the inaugural 200 all those years ago. Joshua Matichek and Corey Rutherford, Venom Truck Series mates there on row number 4. Kyle Zittel and Rene Garcia will round out the top 10. Nate Siefker back tonight in 11th. Last week's podium finisher, Joshua Heggie, will start to his outside in 12th. Joshua Rutherford and John Kay on row number 7. It's Mike Milfeld Jr. and Cody Claiborne on row number 8. Travis Fleming, Heath Smith, Scott Patton, and Dakota DeMade will round out the top 20. Justin Michael and Rob Haynes on row number 11. It's Charlie Widener, Brandon Groover, Cole Maxwell, and Hunter Leach, the 26 drivers that are going to get after it here tonight at Talladega. Let's get into the weather conditions first, some race strategy, track facts, and then we'll get into more of the nitty-gritty here as you and I have a couple of ideas of what might be transpiring even just by looking at this starting lineup.
Yep, you are exactly right. I know the track temperature was pretty darn warm in practice. Not quite as warm here as we are gridding, but still pretty warm compared to what we see typically in our league races. 111 degrees is the track temperature at the moment, so that is pretty warm. Not going to matter as much as at a super speedway, of course, but still something to keep our eye on there. We get 3 extra sets of tires, no fast repairs. That is the big number we are looking at. If something goes wrong and you hit a wall, you hit another competitor, you very well may be out of this race early. So you got to keep your P's and Q's, dot your T's, cross your I's. You know what I'm saying. We got about 30 laps of fuel. I think probably we're looking at more 27, 28-ish. But, I mean, if they really get out there and fuel save, it is possible, I think, to get to 30. Here's some track facts for you. We've had 2 previous races here at Talladega in Truck 200. Here are the averages. 5 cautions is the average. We had 3 in Season 1 and 9 in Season 2, including an overtime. We have had 22 lead changes on average. Season 2 was a lot more competitive. That had 30 lead changes. Season 1 winner was Steve Roman, as Tommy just mentioned during the starting lineup. Season number 2 winner was Caleb Bency. And the closest margin of victory in Truck 200 was Steve Roman over Ryan Dye all that time ago in Season 1 at 39 100ths of a second.
Now, yeah, a lot on the line here. And you'll notice the concentration towards the back. There are a few drivers that are scattered towards the front of the field. But the max speed drivers from all teams on Thursday nights all converge at the super speedways to run together here at Truck 200, save for apparently James Layton, who wanted the pole. But they have several goals in mind here tonight. They want to get away from everybody else, and they've had success doing that in the past on numerous occasions in multiple different leagues. Justin Michael would love to secure himself a championship here tonight. It is possible. Scott Patton would love to secure his way back into this championship fight. It is possible. And all the Max V drivers and every driver in the field here tonight wants to take home the final Super Speedway trophy for Truck 200. It's Layton and it's Schlosser at the front of the field. The Layton River Ellison Memorial here in Truck 200 at Talladega is underway.
Engrav putting a heavy bumper to Matt Schlosser already, looking to get that momentum rocking around the outside. We are looking 3 wide, a little bit further back. That is Heggie and Rene Garcia looking for some momentum on the very top side.
Those 2 drivers teammates, but they have no help behind them currently. Other teammate Travis Fleming not in the picture there. At the stripe, lap 1 goes to Layton, winner Thursday night in the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Finally, after so many runner-up finishes and great runs in the truck, he finally got it done in a thriller last Thursday night. Heggie and Garcia not going away. They are nose to tail, pushing hard. And we noticed with this new truck package from a couple of seasons ago, increased temperature sensitivity in the motor and in the oil temperature and the water temperature. When these 2 are pushing as hard as they are by themselves, especially with how hot it is, 81 degrees air ambient temperature, 110 degrees on the track, that could become an issue here pretty quickly if they don't get any help behind them.
Yeah,
but so far they're making good ground.
Yeah, since that refresh, we have seen multiple drivers blow up at super speedways here on the channel. So that is definitely on the table. It's something that we don't talk about a whole lot, but it has happened multiple times here, so that is certainly something to keep your eye on.
Oh, Heggie took a shot to the wall there, trying to get hooked up to the back of the 74. That will cause them to start going backwards. Hello to everybody hanging out with us in the chat. Joshua Modicek did not want to run this paint scheme here tonight, but he did it anyway because Trading Paints is having some issues. Running the old Dirt 44. Jay, love that. He's up inside the top 10, a former winner here in the Venom Truck Series at Talladega. So hello to the Modicek gang. Hello to Garrett Rainey. Hello to Don Golden and Joshua Rutherford as well. And hello to anybody else that is watching us out there. As Schlosser leads across the line, a couple bonus points in his quest to reel in Justin Michael before Chicagoland next week for the series finale. Gavin Sanders right here, second in line on the bottom as well. Would love to find a way up to the front of this field.
Yeah, we've kind of alluded to it, but we haven't necessarily spelled it out for the fans at home. There's two schools of thought when you come to a super speedway race. It's either lay back and wait for the big one, or you get yourself all the way to the front and hope everybody wrecks behind you. Justin Michael is taking the safe way right now. He is back there single file with his Max V teammates, just hoping to survive to the end of the race. He does not want to get out of this thing early. Meanwhile, Matt Schlosser, Gavin Sanders, they are up front wanting to stay out in front of all the trouble and also get some bonus points along the way, as we are now 3 wide, and there is some help for Rene Garcia and Josh Heggie in the 26 of Travis Fleming. So things are about to get interesting here. 3 wide for 3 rows.
Yeah, I mentioned him a minute ago. Ask and ye shall receive. But they are all kind of out of sorts there on that top line. It's risky business being up there, especially here only on lap number 5. And they're starting to lose the momentum just as soon as they pick up a third truck. Some new faces or some returning faces into this front pack. Zachary Tyler, his first career start on turn 200 at all, let alone in truck 200. Of course, that's Matichek there in the 44J. Cody Claiborne is up here in the mix in the 31. And John Kay, who found out from the Venomcast, he hates the name Allstate John Kay. So that's another feather in your cap. Congratulations.
He deserves that one.
But he is in the mix here at Talladega, a track that he runs well at but does not finish well at. So hopefully that will change here this evening. I'd love to see him get a good finish for everybody in the Alabama gang racing for Paul Ellison tonight.
So about the top 15 are all here in the front pack, and then you're going to go single file further back behind them. Nate Siefker, Heath Smith, Corey Rutherford, Scott Patton, Rob Haynes, Justin Michael, Mike Milfelt, Charlie Widener, Brandon Groover, Hunter Leach, and Cole Maxwell are all single file out back. Saving fuel, that is a big player in this game, is fuel save. Always trying to save as much fuel as possible. As Claiborne and Garcia nearly got together off of turn 2 there.
Just a little touch of contact. That is enough to do it, but luckily Garcia hangs on. As him and Heggie, podium finisher last week, they are not going away on this top side.
Now this is not a slow pace. They are pushing the issue up front here early.
Well, at Alley Hill, cheering on John Kay, who's hooked up with one of the great super speedway racers on the channel, Kyle Zittel.
I think a lot of folks are just trying to get to that first pit stop, maybe get themselves separated a little bit from the big pack, and find your friends, work together, and just go from there. We've seen that strategy employed many times here on the channel. Oftentimes we see a certain group of drivers come down a little bit earlier than everybody else to try and get themselves single file working together, and oftentimes they find themselves gapping the field.
Certainly. And if past history is anything to go off of, some of these drivers should be expecting that tonight and should be planning for it. A couple of them are not in a position to capitalize on that, as Garcia is hanging it right on the door of Schlosser. In particular, I would imagine the drivers that want to jump onto that strategy would be Schlosser and Sanders. But they are up at the front of this pack, while everybody else that's going to essentially gang up on him is behind him. They got the jump.
Yeah, typically you would see those Max V drivers up here towards the front of the field, and they would be kind of the first to make the move. But as you mentioned, they're sitting in the back, so they get to make that move by themselves whenever they want. Everybody else is kind of at the mercy of them. Oh, as Schlosser's help has left him, Hunter Engrav moves up to the third lane.
Engrav opens a parachute up just as quickly as the ESGI Motorsports gang up on the top side really start to get a foothold. Garcia and Layman side by side for the race lead at the stripe. Lap number 10 is on the board this time. Layman going to lead lap 9.
And I think Hunter Engrav is just wanting to get out of the front pack as he has dropped quite a few truck lengths behind and dropped into single file.
So now it's Schlosser with help from Vroman surging back ahead, trying to pull along the 31 of Cody Claiborne in the middle as the top side as quickly as they appeared, they have dipped out, at least for now. Making connections in the chat. You'll love to see that. That's what we're all about. And sim racing's funny like that anyway. These are a bunch of people that probably would not know each other in real life if it weren't for maybe even just us here.
Oh my goodness gracious. You gotta turn, I know you probably got the stream on. Wait just a second, you'll see what I'm saying here.
Yep. Well, that explains part of the paint scheme anyway. Oh my lord.
Speaking of those two ladies in the chat, there are their fellas on the screen. John K, Josh Monacek. I would imagine it's hard to see off the glare of the visor there.
Yeah. That's what tear-offs are for, right?
Yeah, I guess. Not sure what kind of tear-offs you're going to need in the sim rig, but maybe he can get a helping hand with a wet wipe or something at some point.
Yeah, maybe. Well, never cease to amaze here.
And then other than those two, our other driver running a car inside camera here tonight, that is Joshua Rutherford. Josh is sitting back here in the single file. He has Hunter Engrav in front of him, who dropped back into the single file traffic not too long ago. And he has another number 2 behind him, but that is actually technically scored the number 10 of Nate Siefker.
Yeah, Training Paints has been weird here this season. There's also a chance that he's just running that paint scheme anyway. Regardless, he'll be number 2 when it comes Daredevil time here in several months' time. As Garcia now with a big shot from Heggie, and we are 3 abreast up front and for second, or I guess for 4th. And now staggered quite beautifully here out of turn number 4, coming to the line for lap 14.
Yeah, these 9 drivers are not giving an inch here. They are working hard to try and get their lane out front.
At the back of the pack, Mike Milfelt just turned the purple lap. He's riding back in 17th. Oh, Heggie. Wow, that was closer than it needed to be. Big wiggle there. Off a shot at the front bumper of Travis Fleming. And that is going to break up this pack just a bit. Schlosser down.
And Vroman's going to be clear to move down as well. Claiborne is going to get caught out in the middle here.
Hopefully he can tuck in behind the 26 because he certainly is not going to have much of an opportunity to get down low.
That entire top line has really gone backwards here.
Turning very true to life here very quickly.
Certainly.
The pace up front has not changed, but we are single filing out the rest of the way. Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen it more.
Okay, this is interesting. So now Fleming has gone down to the middle.
Well, maybe Garcia wants some fuel save, or maybe Fleming just wants to get up front. Fleming, top 10 finisher last week at the Kansas Road Course. Career best for him and Joshua Rutherford, I believe, in that one.
Don't forget about our spoiler here. That number 22 is not Brantley Gainey, as most are probably accustomed to at this point. On turn 200, that is Zachary Tyler.
Oh,
no,
there he
he's
goes!
turned!
Oh, boy. Well, that was locked and loaded there. Multiple drivers involved. Tyler, Claiborne,
Rutherford, and
Corey Rutherford, Hunter Leach. Joshua Matacek got a piece of that. Josh Heggie, Rene Garcia. And that is caution number 1 here on lap 16. That didn't take much time at all. Oof. Tyler was the first one that went around, but what happened?
Wow. What did I say a couple weeks ago?
Well, I got Patton last week. So we're back.
Now we're 2 for 2.
Oh boy.
Oh, and this actually starts between Garcia and Fleming. Let's see if we can get maybe a little bit of a closer look at this.
Oh, Fleming almost had that straightened out too. Man.
So you see Fleming pushing Claiborne. Gets Claiborne pushed out, and then we're pushing the pusher a little bit here. Garcia swipes just a little bit across the right rear of the 26, and Tommy, you mentioned that the 26 almost got that thing straight before making contact with the 22, but just could not get it under control quickly enough. So Fleming, Heggie, and Zachary Tyler all go up into the wall. You see everybody scrambling to try and stay out of them. And everybody does a pretty good job here until Rutherford and Hunter Leach file into the 22 there right at the very end. Saw a 4X for Steve Vroman as well. Oh, Vroman gets punted to the inside wall. I didn't even see that. Vroman can see what's happening in front of him. Those behind him really can't, and he absolutely gets punted. As soon as Schlosser dives to the bottom. Oh, man, the freight train is coming through.
Well, that is no bueno.
Nope, there are some trucks that are going to be pretty damaged out of that one.
I don't know if anybody has truly terminal damage, but I'm sure a couple drivers will just decide to hang it up after this one, because those were some pretty big shots, in particular for Tyler Vroman, Leach, and Corey Rutherford.
Yeah, I mean, I think the optional can be fixed there, but I mean, it is a matter of how much is going to be able to get fixed. If you can get fixed enough to at least stay with the pack, that's definitely going to help you stay in this one, but you're going to have a lot of breaks go your way to get a good finish after that.
So now, pit stops on lap 17. Everybody, I think, came down.
Yep, everybody down pit road for fuel here. As
So,
you see Tyler, Vroman, Rutherford, Garcia, and Leach still down pit road getting damage fixed.
let's get some quick maths here. What are we thinking strategy-wise from here on out? Especially for the Max V guys that are going to try and mix it up. Can they mix it up?
Yeah, I mean, boy, it's going to be close. I mean, we are thinking maybe pushing it to 30 laps on a tank of fuel, although I think that's a little bit generous. If we go green from here on out, it would be, well, from when they came down pit road, it would be 59 laps. It will be 57 laps from, 56 laps from the time we actually go green, I believe. But, I mean, they're still burning fuel out here on the racetrack, albeit much less than they would if they were in green flag conditions. But, I mean, it really doesn't give the Max V drivers any room to wiggle to come down pit road early like they would have before. I mean, they're everybody's kind of stuck in a box if we go green from here on out.
A reminder, completion of lap 38 tonight. There will be some valuable bonus points on the line. I know we're talking a lead of over 100 points over the next two contenders for Justin Michael. But, I mean, Justin Michael, just as easily as we just saw it there, he can get the boot very similarly.
Yeah, I think the big thing there is those three drivers and all of our championship contenders still up to this point not involved in that one, that are still mathematically able to be in it. So, all things good so far for the championship drivers.
So we'll re-rack it for you. Gavin Sanders just got himself a couple bonus points by being the leader here under caution. Cody Claiborne will line up to his outside after a narrow escape there. That all started right behind him. He get a Phantom 4X for his troubles. Kyle Zittel and Matt Schlosser, the dynamic duo from the 2025 Daytona Charity Shootout, will start on row 2. Joshua Matichek and Dakota DeMade will be on row number 3. A little bit of space here on this top line as we try and condense some more. We're back at our way here, lap 20 on the board. Well, Sanders with an early lane change there. That'll be a topic of discussion for the after race. Sanders at this point, I'm sure, just wants to do everything that he possibly can to keep himself in the fight. Look at this big run here. Layton and DeMade shot out of a cannon as the bottom line gets formed up. Joshua Rutherford going to go to the top side here as well with some distance still to cover.
John Kay trying to close that gap as well, but slowly approaching on the top line here.
Most of the field in tow, save for a couple of damaged drivers at the back. I should say drivers with damage. DeMade going to squeak one out across the line. He leads lap number 20.
Rutherford and John Kay kind of having a hard time getting to these two up towards the front. Rutherford finally within a truck length.
Sanders backing up. He may want DeMade down, but I don't think it's going to happen unless Layton keeps shoving, and he will. DeMade is down. All open wheelers in the fender trucks here at Talladega. DeMade leading Sanders, leading Claiborne.
The field is pretty broken up right now. This is an interesting restart, to say the least.
Layton getting left out. Scott Patton is leaving his pack behind and trying to make his way towards the front of this field. He desperately needs some bonus points here if he wants to stay in the fight.
Matt Schlosser is moving backwards here. This is not what Schlosser needed. I don't know what has happened to the 400. He's gotten stuck behind some drivers not moving forward, I guess.
Could Schlosser be trying to snipe the eventual early pit stop from the Max V gang? He started a Max V race. Technically, he's allowed in, I think. Layton, meanwhile, now with help from John Kay. They will pull back out to the outside.
Now,
and look at that. Zachary Tyler is in this pack. How did that happen?
I guess the damage is fixed.
Well, he's not going to get any help from behind as Zittel and Patton will pull out a line.
Maybe these trucks are a little bit stronger than they were just a week ago.
I don't think any body changes happened. That is just got to be sheer luck, as Steve Roman is way off the pace. He has lost touch with the draft. Everybody else is still managing to motor on. Layman is clear. John Kay is not going to get clear. Will Layman move down? Yes, he will.
Well, there is no single file right now.
All packed up, baby. Look at this. Zittel going to take it 3 wide. Patton going to follow him. Opens the door for Monacek to get through in the middle. Justin Michaels into the mix. So is Rob Haynes. These are a lot of the Max V guys maybe abandoning the pit strategy here. Either that or they want up to the front of the field to get some bonus points. Either way, Zittel now in control of the top line. John Kay led at the line, but is falling back here in the middle. James Layman, the leader on the bottom.
Patton and Zittel are coming with a head of steam.
Nate Siefker bailing. And I can't say I blame him. Everybody's looking a little weeble-wobbly here.
Wow.
Patton and Zittel in stereo.
With authority.
How about that? I mean, Zittel and Patton are two of the best.
Whoa, big wiggle there out of the 46.
Oh, and Patton is...
Man.
Hopefully we greased up that tailgate.
Things were pretty calm for the first 15 laps of this race. They have certainly flipped the switch here at Talladega.
I mean, look at this. Garcia and Fleming are back into the mix. Fleming was almost upside down in that crash. And he's back here pushing up on the top line again.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like Hunter Leach and Corey Rutherford may have gotten the worst of the damage piling in at the very end. They weren't even going that fast, but that's just what engine damage does to you here, I guess.
Roman as well, but Corey is struggling to hang on to the back of the pack. So Roman already almost a half a lap down. Is Layman going to abandon ship on the bottom and push Scott Patton up to the front of this field? John Kay going to follow through. He'll try and work his way down to pick up Kyle Zittel.
Oh, these two are going to work together beautifully, but they're going to get cut off by Layman and Patton.
Didn't realize this was NASCAR 2006 Total Team Control. The factions are
look at the big block coming.
Millfeld into the wall. Patton and Layman from the bottom to the top. Mike Millfeld in the checkup hits the wall. And now here's Joshua Rutherford and Joshua Monacek. They'll push from the middle down to the bottom.
Tyler nearly got into Millfeld. Millfeld's big time stacked up with Justin Michael.
Oh, boy, they are four wide.
Himself in the middle. Oh, dear.
4 wide. Patton rolling out of it. Michael's going to try and get through unscathed, and he's lucky to do so. Wow. Joshua Rutherford leads it.
Is this lap 27 or 67? Goodness gracious.
I have no idea. Scott Patton's calling for a change of pants. Steve Roman going awfully slow. And so is Michael bumping Layman down into Kyle Zittel. Big checkups behind, but I think we're going to save it. Oh, my. That was almost a complete disaster. And that would have not just been Justin Michael. That would have been Sanders and Schlosser as well. Oh, my Lord.
Somebody's below the yellow line. That's Kevin Sanders. I guess just trying to back out of it. Maybe he doesn't want any part of this, and I don't blame him.
No, not one bit.
By the way, completion of lap 38 is the stage. Ooh. So we got, 10 laps before we get there. I can't believe Justin Michael is up here mixing it up right now.
No, neither could I. Maybe he can't either.
He's the one that has the most to lose here.
If he can get up to the lead, it's not a bad place to be, but he is not there right now. Tyler and Siefker are going to go backwards. Ooh, Tyler trying to fit it in a gap there with James Layman, and that's not going to work. Tyler into Siefker, Millfeld, Claiborne, caution. Tyler going for a gap that closed. And that is going to be the end of Nate Siefker's race.
I think Mike Milfelt took a pretty big shot there as well.
Yes, he did. Well, poop.
Yeah, things are getting interesting here. Yeah, so I mean, this was kind of weird because Schlosser was kind of a lane down, and Rutherford, Garcia, and Justin Michael were kind of drifting up towards the top. Oh my goodness. I guess there is some contact there, so Tyler trying to get down in between Layman and Matt Schlosser as Layman has a big run off the corner. There's just not the room there. So that's going to turn the 22 sideways, and he's trying to make the save. He got it straight at one point, but tough to hang on at this speed. Gets into Siefker. Siefker does a wheelie. Oh, Scott Patton hit the wall real hard. I failed to see that on the first look. And then there's Mike Milfelt. And Cody Claiborne's the one that got hard into Milfelt. So Claiborne's going to have some pretty big damage here as well. Boy, I did not see that shot for Scott Patton on the first look. That was that's going to cause some pretty big damage there to the 46 as well. And
Is that a collision on pit road from Garcia and Zittel as well? But yeah, you're right. I think pretty much everybody's down pit road save for a handful. Actually, just Josh Heggie.
Trying to see if we could see the incident between Zittel and Garcia. A little touch there. I mean, they had pit boxes right next to each other, so typically, I think they were thinking that they were going to be clear. When you get down into the pit boxes, you can't actually make contact with each other. I think both of them thought they were to that point already, and they just weren't quite down far enough yet.
Well. Justin Michael, if that would have happened the lap before, he may have been toast.
Yeah.
But instead he's in third.
Yeah, the thing is, now he's up front, which is exactly where, if you're not all the way at the back just waiting, you want to be up front. So now he's going to be able to get bonus points, and he's going to be out in front, hopefully out in front of most of the wrecks that are going to happen from here on out.
Couple drivers from the last caution still getting damage fixed. Corey Rutherford, I'm sure, was happy to see this caution to maybe put some odds and ends back on this 5 truck. Mike Milfelt, extended stay on pit road. Siefker also still on pit road. Cole Maxwell has come back in here on this lap. And it's Joshua Rutherford on the outside pole with Joshua Heggie to his inside.
And there's the chat from Joshua Rutherford under yellow flag conditions. How am I here? Well, I'll tell you why, because you're being patient, doing your thing, baby. You got John Kay, who is a great pusher right behind you there.
They've worked well together thus far.
Monachek has put the visor up. I think the glare off the monitors has just become too much.
I can't say that I blame him. I wouldn't have put it on at all. So, Scott Patton also just leaving pit road now as well. So an extended stay for him is going to put him 1 lap down. We've got 23 drivers on the lead lap. We've got 25 of 26 still running. Actually, make that 24 of 26. Safeker is yet to return to the track with a meatball flag. And Scott Patton just spun out on the pit out.
Yeah, he was trying to really hustle it. He was trying to get all his damage fixed and is now going to be a lap down. Now probably going to be a couple laps down.
Yeah, I don't think they are going to catch this pack, as it's Heggie and Rutherford at the front of the field. Oh boy, this top line's going to stack up. Rutherford did not get going very cleanly.
Oh, Patton's going to get there.
Very impressive.
Wow, and just like the last restart, this one is pretty jumbled up as well.
Yeah, Rutherford. Little gamesmanship there from Heggie, which is totally allowed, but huge runs coming from Rutherford to Michael, and Layman up to Heggie.
I thought Rutherford was going to try to squeeze underneath of Michael to the middle. That could have been disastrous.
I just don't think he realized how quick the closing rate was going to be on that, as Layman now going to leave Heggie and get in front of Justin Michael. Look at this big run from Matt Schlosser.
Yeah, and he's going to have a little bit of help here from Garcia, who has been no stranger to the third lane, so some experience up there to the bumper of the 400. Oh, Rutherford.
Crowded.
Big crowding.
Michael and Layman have free lane choice here. Well, they did. Now they've got trucks on either side.
Layman's still all the way out front, but he'd have to get up in front of Schlosser quickly now. The hole is closed.
Look at this. This 22 truck will not go away. Look at Zachary Tyler.
He is all over it here today, trying to make the most of his debut.
Absolutely. Right back up into the mix, inside the top 10. Haven't talked much about Hunter Engrav. He's here. He missed last week. I mean, he needs a miracle at this point. But he's doing what he needs to do. He got a podium finish here with Venom last season. Schlosser and Garcia up top. Michael and Layman in the middle. And Heggie, with help now from his teammate Travis Fleming, trying to rally back into the fight. Bonus points being paid here in 4.5 laps.
Garcia going to get Schlosser out in front right up to turn 3 entry, but here comes the middle lane. Big bump from the 87 up to Layman.
Look at this, Brandon Groover, Gavin Sanders, Kyle Zittel, Cody Claiborne all on this top line now. Numbers a bit more sparse on the inside here as Travis Fleming's clipped the apron a couple of times here. Second on the bottom. That's not going to help matters much. Trying to get Heggie up to the front of this field. Ooh, Garcia and Schlosser a bit out of shape.
Garcia is absolutely attached to the 400 down the backstretch here. But another big surge from Layman and Michael.
Here's the
bottom
run.
lane.
Fleming and Heggie finally got hooked up there. John Kay going to go through as well. Big gap from Kay back to Matacek. And Mike Milfeld, who I thought was out of this race. I mean, Apparently everywhere except for the super speedways, this truck is frail. But here it seems to be a tank. If you're not Broman or Siefker.
In the turns, this field just nobody's really together. Everybody's kind of spread apart from each other, and then they come together on the straightaways, and then once they hit the corner, everybody's fanned out all over the place again. Not typically what you see at these racetracks. This one's a little bit more farmed up through 3 and 4.
Two more laps for the halfway bonus points. Schlosser in a position, Michael in a position to get some points. Sanders right on the cusp, and he really can't go anywhere. He's trapped up on this top side. He's just going to have to hope that this line starts to move forward and that they don't do that, which is moving laterally. Not what you want when you're 3 wide.
Yeah, Sanders just has to hope that outside lane gets a big surge of momentum coming to the line, and he can work his way past a couple of more trucks there to the inside of him. But, I mean, right now he's sitting right there around 12th. Between 10th and 14th place is where he's sitting right now. He needs some help.
Bell lap here for 10 bonus points. Schlosser going to try and surge ahead. He's got to run. It's going to stall out, though, as Brandon Groover not helping much behind Rene Garcia. Groover, a chaser, already eliminated.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about the importance of that third truck in line as Garcia hits the wall. Oh, my goodness, what a save. That,
wow.
He almost took out Justin Michael there.
Well, Michael now has an opportunity to get up if he wants to. I'm not sure that he'll take it. I can't believe they didn't just wreck. That was insane. Halfway bonus points. Boy, I think Hagee got it.
Yep.
3 1,000ths of a second. Michael moves up to the top side. He'll be scored third. Schlosser gets 2 points. Sanders got nothing after the top line blows up.
Wow, that was that was a last lap of the stage points, that's for sure.
Yeah.
One of the craziest we've seen.
I think Justin Michael's wanting to go backwards here. But Tyler can't find a hole. Now he's going to get up into the wall.
So Michael got us bonus points, and now he's headed to the back.
Lap 40 this time. All right, so these drivers all pit on lap 29 under caution. Now where do we stand?
They kind of have free range of, I think, of whatever they want. I don't think they can stretch it to the end. And they can... I say I don't think. They definitely can't stretch it to the end is what I should have said. And, I mean, anywhere from lap 48, I think you're comfortable. So we have less than 10 laps before the window is open. However, we've had some incidents, and there's not many teammates together anymore. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen on pit stops here. Oftentimes, for the first round of pit stops, you see a bunch of teammates try and get together and come in, but we just haven't had that early green flag pit stop. There's been a couple of wrecks. Everybody's been all over the place. There's just no teammates really together to say, hey, let's all go on this lap. So if they want to try and get there, they're going to have to do it in a hurry.
Scott Patton and Corey Rutherford have lost touch with the draft.
You do see drivers kind of making moves, dropping back, dropping down into single file, maybe trying to find their playing partners once those pit stops come, but John Kay wants to try and go to the front. He's got James Layton behind him, pushing him there.
All-State John Kay bringing it back now. At the front of the field, I'm not sure if he wanted to drop down there, but Layman's got the run with help from Joshua Rutherford behind. Oh, this bottom line going to stack up here. But Kay and Heggie will get it in gear, and now they're both clear. Layman will drop down.
Wow, he had that hole open up, and he jumped on it quickly.
So that separates Heggie and Fleming, and it moves the 64 Joshua Rutherford to the front of the field.
So Rutherford started first row on the outside on the restart, and now he's finding his way back.
That's an insult I've never heard before. I hope you're drinking strawberry kiwi Gatorade. That was from Layman to John Kay, because Kay did not thank James Layman for pushing him to the lead. A very interesting exchange there.
Can't say I've had that flavor before, but it doesn't sound that great, so I can understand.
I think I've had it before, and it's fine. So, I don't know. You and Layman must be in the same boat.
Not much of a Gatorade drinker anymore, I gotta say.
Well, lots of sugar. People don't realize how much sugar there is.
I'm getting old now. Too much sugar for me. Whoa, man. Garcia, that is a couple of times he has been really loosey-goosey on the outside trying to push. That's twice now. The third time, hopefully, is not the charm.
Here's Scott Patton staying up high. And that truck is looking evil. No wonder he spun it out on the flat. He's up on the banking and looks like he's having a hard time keeping it down. Man, we are sawtoothing here on the bottom. Visibility is an underrated aspect of super speedway racing when you're tucked up this close. And really, this isn't even that close, but still, visibility is encumbered, to say the least, when you're riding around like this.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go ahead and go on board with Josh Matacek. Give you a little bit of a look at this, but he's pretty far off of Fleming here, so he's trying to give himself a decent look at what is happening in front of him. But once you get right up on the bumper of somebody, you kind of lose that. You're not able to see around that truck in front of you, and you're kind of at their mercy if something were to happen. See Matacek kind of pull up a little bit to the bumper, and you see he can't see those trucks in front of him any longer.
Yeah, unless you're somebody like you and I or Kyle Zittel, or I'm sure a handful of other drivers in this league who have turned thousands and thousands of laps at the super speedways, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Even for us to try and get back into the rhythm, it'll take a few laps if you're really riding close.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you don't have to worry about the handling of the car, the truck. You think you can just jump in there and whip tail, which sometimes that is doable, but yeah, the visibility and knowing the people that you're running around is a big part of super speedway racing that takes some time to get used to.
I'm afraid to give a call to people because all of a sudden we're back to our old ways, but do want to point out Hunter Leach is back in the top 10. Or not back in the top 10. He's in the top 10 for the first time tonight.
Yep, and he's on the outside
Ooh,
there.
pit stops.
Whoa, here we go.
Okay, Rutherford, Matacek, Zittel, Maxwell.
Wow, they wasted no time. They were coming to lap 48, and they came down pit road. That's the lap we thought they would open, and open they did very swiftly.
Well, we've sniped the snipers.
Well, what is going to happen now?
I think James Layman is
Here's the
pitting.
answer.
Here we go.
Oh, Layman is
Oh.
sailing it in there.
Wow. He's too fast, but he saved it. Too fast entering. But man, what a save. But this is the rest of the Max V crew. Widener, Haynes, Groover,
You see, Schlosser.
Smith, and Matt Schlosser as well.
Yeah, Schlosser got in with these guys. That's a good move from the 400, but he was pretty far back in the pack, I think. I'm hopefully he'll be able to hang on to those drivers. That was an aggressive entry for most of them. Schlosser was probably going to have to do the same to be able to hang with him here. Oh, and he is golden.
Absolutely.
And Heath Smith trying to let him back in. As the rest of the drivers that have not come down pit road yet, they're going to stay out. And this is the top 8 that you see on your screen. These are the 8 that are left to pit from the lead lap.
And Kyle Zittel, John Kay, and company have all caught the Max V gang. So it's not going to be a runaway for Max V. We may have the open wheel contingent coming down pit road this time. Gavin Sanders, Cody Claiborne. We'll see who between them will make their way down. Zachary Tyler coming in.
Travis Fleming's going to stay out by himself. Oh, Sanders! No! Tyler turns him!
Oh, my Lord. Well, it's gone from bad to worse for Gavin Sanders.
Aggressive entries from both of them. Tyler not able to keep it straight. Gets into the 99.
And Sanders now banking on a caution to save his season. Engrav leads this group out of pit road. They all would have had to have suffered some time loss here. So who's to say if they can actually get out and stay with this, now the new lead group.
I mean, Engrav doesn't really have anybody to work with either. Leach is pretty far
No.
back. Garcia's pretty far back.
But he can
Whoa,
make these
and
drivers
there-
work around him as they try and zipper merge.
That's kind of their only chance that they had.
Yeah, Engrav, he might be okay. Leach and now Garcia pushing hard. They might be able to
I think
sniff
they're
the
going to be
tail
all
here.
right.
Wow.
Boy, it's going to be close, though. They are still getting gapped here.
They do need to go on it. Hopefully Leach will stay in line here and get Engrav going. Garcia is giving that 199 the business. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, they're good. They were about 9/10 back. They're back to 7/10, so they are going to catch the pack here.
And behind them, Cody Claiborne, well outside of drafting range. DeMade and Sanders have stuck together. Joshua Rutherford is in that mix as well. Josh Heggie. So those are the drivers that are going to be on the outside looking in. As they caught the pack and then nearly stacked up there as Garcia shoots around the outside of the Hunters.
Yeah, the Hunters were still bumper to bumper right up to the back of Matt Schlosser.
All right, it is the top, what is this, the top 15
Yep.
together here. Lap 53.
No pit stops in sight. No more pit stops needed.
Hopefully Leach doesn't have too much damage. He is dropping off the tail of the field here.
He's been okay most of the day. That might just be by design.
I will say this is the top 15, but it's second to 15th. Travis Fleming is still yet to make his pit stop.
Yeah, and then you're going to have James Layton, who was caught speeding on pit road. He is going to slot in. So this is going to be a group of 15. So Fleming currently your leader, but he is out there all by his lonesome and losing multiple seconds per lap to the pack.
We're coming to lap 55 here, and it's tradition in the Layton River Ellison Memorial to do a silent lap in remembrance of the young man that we lost several years ago. And we'll combo that up. It's Paul Ellison, part of the Alabama gang. We're here at Talladega. No better place to crank it up and celebrate a life cut short with Layton River Ellison, and hopefully Paul is out there watching. Lap 55 up on the board already from Travis Fleming, but Kyle Zittel leading the big pack across the stripe. EllisonCars.com at the front of the pack. I know he's not points racing per se, but Kyle Zittel, not the man this field wants to see up front right now. I guarantee you that.
John Kay are definitely going to be looking to spoil this party.
Here comes Travis Fleming, so this will give the lead back to Zittel. And actually, it will give the lead to Zittel, I think, for the first time tonight. Well, we were wondering if this field was going to wise up. It turns out they did. They did the math. They got it done. Still fairly tight on the fuel number, especially for the group that pit one ahead of Max V. But now Michael pushing Rob Haynes, a Talladega winner in Max V competition on Thursday nights. Max V, by the way, going to run Martinsville this week, and that is always an interesting race, to say the least, for every league in the truck. Venom Truck Series in action tomorrow night in Nashville Super Speedway. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Max V has had some very interesting races at Martinsville.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to want to miss that one, and you're definitely not going to want to miss Nashville Super Speedway. That one is always such an interesting race to watch unfold. It is truly one of a kind.
We'll get all the plugs out of the way. Friday night, it's Brands Hatch Rallycross course for the Special Stage Pro Truck Series. That will be a fun one. Hope to catch you sometime the rest of the week here, but not after we catch you for the finish of this race. Everybody good to the end on fuel, we think. If we get into extra laps, we may not be good on fuel.
No, if we go to overtime, I think for sure the Venom drivers might be in trouble.
Got some wiggle worms up here. Everybody trying to move and shake. Haynes leading. Now Justin Michael in control of the outside. Rene Garcia with a huge burst. But nowhere to go. Cole Maxwell shuffled out. Won't be a problem. He should be able to find his way back in line. You mentioned James Layton. Now Zachary Tyler as well up into the lead pack. They are laps down, but they could very well dictate how this race is going to finish up. Dense championship on the line potentially tonight. Don't you just love this feeling? The laps are just slowly ticking away here. The calm before the storm.
Yeah, I mean, it's, these drivers don't want to get too crazy too early, but you don't want to wait too late either. I mean, it is a fine line. I think the main thing that you cannot do in super speedway racing is be timid. Once you have to make that decision, and you just have to go for it, whether it's the right one or not. You can't teeter in between, oh, should I go, should I not, and just kind of half-ass it. You have to go for it if you're going to.
And we've seen both today. We've certainly seen some full sends, and we have seen some trepidation.
Here you go. Here's a big move.
Widener up top. I think Smith maybe wanted to go with him, but he'll pull back in line. And charging Charlie, plowing ahead here on the top side. Zittel pushing Haynes ahead on the bottom.
This is going to put Max V drivers at the front of all three lines now.
Can Widener keep it going? The field is probably a lap or two away from overtaking Travis Fleming. And they're going to hope that they catch him at a good spot or that he has the wherewithal to bail.
Yeah, certainly don't want a Season 1-esque incident in this one.
No. Thanks for reminding me.
For the OGs, if you know, you know.
Yeah. Again, Layton and Widener making good hay on the top side just with those two trucks. Nobody else electing to join them yet.
I mean, Layman's not pushing Widener super hard here. They're just kind of hanging around there on the top side right now. Oh, man, a little bit of a wiggle there from Smith. As they may get to Fleming on the backstretch here. That's probably the best spot to catch him.
That would be ideal.
Oh, boy.
But the field is spacing out in preparation as Fleming will go up to the top side. And going to catch him on the entry to 3 here. That can be a bit awkward. Layman rolls out of it. Widener does not. They get through. Could have been worse.
Certainly. They did what they needed to do. They basically got too wide.
Well, Widener and Layman not content. Right back to the top.
Yep, they did not waste any time, did they?
Chase has not gone Charlie Widener's way, that's for sure, but he would love to sweep the super speedways in
Look at
season
this
number
run.
3.
They made up 4 truck lengths there.
Now Brandon Groover and now Rene Garcia going up top. We're going 3 abreast. 3 wide, 3 deep.
I think this
And
is the
more
point of no
follow.
return, folks.
Could very well be outside of 10 laps to go. Widener going to get clear. Will he take it? May not want to.
Yeah, wants to stick with Layman, but man, you get pushed out in front and that truck behind you kind of expects you to maybe move down. You kind of get caught up and stacked up a little bit. Kyle Zittel was kind of laying off of Haynes a little bit. Now he's back to pushing pretty hard.
Oh, Garcia into Maxwell, and they save it again.
Oh,
Maybe.
do they? Yes.
Oh, my. That was too close. And there goes the top line.
Garcia's going to owe everybody a pair of drawers after this one.
Yeah.
He's done that 2 or 3 times.
The track has cooled down 11 degrees since the drop of the green, nearly 20 degrees since practice started. But that has not solved some of the handling issues. Garcia right back to charging. And now we'll hit the wall. Whoa! Zittel into the inside wall. John Kay, Rob Haynes got a piece of it as well, but it's a one-truck incident as Zittel.
Oh, no, not now.
Not anymore. Yeah, multiple trucks involved there. We're going to throw the caution.
Oh, boy. Well, that was developed interestingly, especially the second part of that.
Yeah.
We'll go. That's really all I have to go off of, but we're gonna have to back it up. So, coming off of turn 2, Zittel is tucked up right underneath of Rob Haynes, and he gives him an off-center push, and I think Zittel may have been getting pushed from John Kay as well, which just is tough business, pushing the pusher out of a corner. I guess he's not really tucked in there, and I think as Zittel gets off center to Haynes, there's just a big checkup. And Yeah, John just gets too big of a run to the inside of Kyle, and when Kyle tries to get back in line, there's not a big enough space there. Kyle's going to smash into the wall, and then exactly what happens here is we are 4 wide further back between Groover, Maxwell, Garcia, and Layman. John's going to try and come up the racetrack, and Groover is coming with a head of steam. He's going to try and go below the yellow line. And then, yeah, that was an awkward incident, to say the least. I mean, all of that really starts because Kyle Zittel knows how hard he has to push Rob Haynes out of the corner. I mean, really, that's what really kicks that off. Get a couple of trucks sideways, weaving back and forth, trying to push that hard, and things happen. Alrighty, folks. Well, you've waited this long for the finish. We're going to get to see a 6-lap dash to the checkers. Or will we? That is the question.
Yeah. Maybe. It's possible.
There's a lot of drivers with nothing to lose in the back half of this top 10. And in the front half of the top 10, I guess, as well. Although some of those in the front know they have teammates that don't want their night ruined. There's others in the back half of the top 10 that have they have nobody to serve here. They are only serving themselves. And they are going to push like crazy to try and get this win.
Justin Michael up at the front of this field. To his inside, Rob Haynes will be the control car for this restart. Have not talked much about Heath Smith here tonight. He will restart in third. He's out of contention for the championship, but would love to take a win for the road here in Truck 200. Joshua Monacek is outside, Talladega winner in the Venom Truck Series. Mike Milfeld, a Max V Super Speedway race winner. Matt Schlosser has won exhibition races in the Venom Truck Series before on the Super Speedways. Charlie Widener, the Daytona season opener winner. And Hunter Leach back there in P8. You and I have done Super Speedway racing with Hunter Leach a lot. And out of any of the oval tracks that we've gone to this season, other than Volusia, the dirt, this is where he's going to be the most comfortable and try and make the most happen here. Ian at truck 199 running that number for Mr. Matt Williamson himself. Pace truck is off. Haynes and Michael at the front of the field. Haynes can go any time that he chooses from now on. And he will fire off. Michael did not get much help from behind.
Whoa!
As Widener and Monacek, they're going to save it. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, no! Now Rene Garcia's going to get turned.
And the caution's back out. And I think we're going to overtime. Maybe it'll be close. But Widener, boy, that was a self-destruction there. Takes out Rene Garcia. Monacek with an issue. Or with contact, at least. But that was not a clean restart.
That didn't take long.
No, it did not.
Well, let's go to the restart here. Does Widener try and get to the top? Oh, yeah, Milfeld's going to go to the top, and Widener just follows him up there, but Josh Matichek is to his outside. I mean, the front of the pack kind of got stacked up. Milfeld was going to help Justin Michael, and Widener wanted to go with him, but he wasn't clear. So those two get together, but make an unbelievable save. And then Rene Garcia tries to split. I don't know. Boy, there's barely any contact there. I mean, Widener, comes maybe 10 inches off the yellow line, and Rene Garcia goes around. Wasn't much room for the 95 to work with in that second half of the incident. But, yeah, probably all could have been avoided.
Yeah, it was a weird one. Schlosser and Sanders with close escapes again. And this is we're running out of green flag laps for the 400 and the 99 to make their way up to challenge for this race win. And these drivers, a couple cautions in the mix here as well, but now starting to run out of fuel as well. I'm sure tanks are looking light.
I didn't get a great look at it, but I'm wondering if there was some netco between Garcia and Widener.
I think there was. The way that Garcia kind of snapped around.
It didn't look like either of them moved up or down the racetrack, and Garcia just, like you said, snapped to the left. I
think Widener did move up a little bit. Garcia was already shooting a tight gap, but it should have done that.
So it'll be a natural.
Oh, we love naturals here, don't we?
We certainly do.
Natural light, I mean.
Oh, yes. That
okay.
Well,
all right.
Debatable,
Yep.
but sure.
Okay.
I'll let you have it. Well, folks, you're going to get treated to another restart. Who do we got? Put it in the chat. You got one caution lap, but tell us who you think can take this one home. Will it be Rob Haynes, who is the biggest mover of the night, up 21 positions right now, starting on the inside front row for this restart?
Well, at 33, he's been tough to beat here in the past. Heath Smith, a Daytona winner with Max V. Justin Michael, is in the thick of it every super speedway race. Monday nights, Thursday nights, he's always doing it. Mike Milfeld, same. Max V's got the front four locked down. Then it's Matichek and Schlosser side by side on row 3. Heggie and Leach on row 4. Engrav and Widener row 5. Gavin Sanders going to be restarting in 12th, and he needs to make up a ton of positions. And shout out to Scott Patton in the chat. Would not like to see him in the chat, unfortunately, early 2 weeks in a row. But shout out to Patented Paints. There's Heath Smith. Oh, boy. A lot riding on this restart. You know, I would have loved to have bookended Truck 200 with races at Talladega, but making the championship race at Talladega is... I mean, not that we need any repeat customers, but it certainly would not have done us any favors. But it may come down to it anyway, depending on how this all shakes out. If Schlosser and Sanders get caught up in some melee here and Michael's able to get away, I mean, he could very easily lock it down tonight. The 400 and the 99 need to get ahead of Justin Michael, especially with a mile and a half looming next week in Chicagoland. We are not into overtime. This is a natural green-white checkered. 3 attempts should we need it. If it all goes wrong like it has so many times. Haynes fires. We're underway. 2 laps to go. And they are all
starts from further back.
No. Playing the restart game well within the rules. Schlosser gets a good jump. Sanders DeMade pushing further back, trying to get up into the mix here.
Schlosser's going to move to the top side, trying to make something happen here. He's going to be all by himself on the third lane, hoping that DeMade would have gone with him. They do not.
They do not. Haynes still the leader into turn number 3. Michael in second. Here's Josh Matichek in third. Schlosser going backwards. Into the trial will we go. Will we see the line? If we do, the race will be official. Final lap here at Talladega. To set the table for the championship battle next week, how will it all shake out in 2.5 miles?
Haynes almost 3 truck lengths on the outside line right now.
Matichek getting pushed from behind right onto the tailgate of the 87 of Michael, who's pushing Rob Haynes.
Now Josh Hagee's pushing 4th in line.
Lots of pushing here. Michael in a very vulnerable position. Some contact further back. We're racing it back to the line. Matichek wants out. He's got to run with Hagee. They're in. To the line we go. Haynes is going to hang on. Matichek in second, and Justin Michael slips back there late. Michael across the line in 8th. But Rob Haynes is a Truck 200 winner. He'll take the final Truck 200 race at Talladega. Matichek in second. Heath Smith onto the podium in third. And DeMade 4th for the second week in a row.
Wow, Rob Haynes, he just finds a way to get him done.
Yes, he does. I mean, Michael was not going to make that move. That was Haynes' race, and he very precociously hangs on to it.
We about watered them all up there at the very end. We only watered a few.
Yeah, Leach, Engrav, Joshua Rutherford, Kyle Zittel, all with problems there. A problem for Rene Garcia and Cole Maxwell as well. Milfelt, Smith, Heggie. And even a registered 4X for Rob Haynes there in the melee as well. With Joshua Matichek. But it is channel win number 3 for Rob Haynes, I do believe. And his second at Talladega. He is now the only driver with multiple victories at Talladega on turn 200. Can you believe that?
Wow, I did not know that. That is actually crazy.
It was ones across the board, and now Rob Haynes from up north in Canada puts up a big 2 with that 33 truck. Well, we've got a lot to sift through here. Once Haynes is done, we'll take a look at that run to the checkers. Pretty wild. Lots going on. There we go. I think we're parked now.
Yep.
Go ahead and take a look at this final lap.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and hit the play button on the final lap here. I mean, Haynes and Michael, as they cross the line here, Haynes had a couple of truck links on that outside line with Heath Smith leading it. And they would kind of stick with that all the way through turns 1 and 2. Man, that inside line was pushing each other so hard. It is a miracle nothing happened down there. Pushing the pusher is not recommended, and there were 4 of them doing it right there. So now as we come out of turn 4, let's see if we can find some things that happen here. Heath Smith's going to go up to the top lane. Matichek's going to get himself put in the middle with some help from Josh Heggie. And I heard some rumblings from further back at some point. Oh, is Smith and Heggie go door to door there? Milfeld's going to try and fan out to the outside of Smith. Justin Michael gets Rob Haynes pushed down to the apron. They nearly turn each other. Haynes up into Matichek. Michael's going to get turned off the bumper of Josh Heggie. And there's your slow-mo finish right there. Let's, I mean, everybody is fairly in line here. But we were, what, 4 wide there? Maybe 5 wide through the finish?
Something like that.
My goodness.
It was wild.
Right here in the middle of the pack. I mean, that's 5, I think, at some point there. So that is a Talladega finish. And it's going to be the last one for Truck 200.
And there on the final lap, Brandon Groover snipes the fastest lap away from Justin Michael, of all people.
Wow.
We've got a rough outline of what the points look like headed into next week. But we can give you the full finishing rundown and do our regular podium interviews first here. As that was a wild night at Talladega, and that will close the books on Super Speedway Racing in Truck 200. And it will do so with a win for Rob Haynes. Second place finish for Joshua Matichek here this season. He's got one more opportunity to get himself on the board. We'll talk to him in just a second. We'll talk to Heath Smith as well. 4th place for Dakota DeMade. Hunter Engrav will go P5. It is Mike Milfeld in 6th. Joshua Rutherford in 7th. Justin Michael slips back to 8th, and Gavin Sanders goes in 9th. Hunter Leach will round out the top 10 this evening. Joshua Heggie slips back to 11th there. Charlie Widener to 12th. Cody Claiborne, Brandon Groover, and Matt Schlosser, your top 15. That is not what Matt Schlosser wanted to see here this evening. Zachary Tyler, an eventful run here tonight at Talladega, to say the least. He'll finish in 16th. John Kay in 17th. Rene Garcia, Cole Maxwell with a problem there. Out of turn number 4, rather, they will finish in 18th and 19th. 20th for Travis Fleming. Kyle Zittel limping that truck home in 21st after leading quite a few laps here this evening. 1 down in 22nd for James Lehman. 1 down in 23rd for Corey Rutherford. Then DNFs for Patton, Siefker, and your first ever Truck 200 winner, Steve Roman, out very early in this one, unfortunately. So we'll go in search of your podium finishers here, and it is time to talk to Heath Smith. Truck number 1 goes P3 here tonight at Talladega, and an eventful run to the checkers there. But congrats on a podium finish.
Thanks, sir. I'm glad I got to do an interview before the season ends here for Truck 200.
Well, we got you in the chase. It's not quite gone your way here these last few races, but we I mean, I kind of figured coming into the night that you would be making a lot of noise, and the result will certainly show that. But we didn't really call out your name a whole lot here tonight, and that's the super speedway race. That's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, I was just going to try to ride around the back and be kind of calm and cool, and then somehow I found myself I don't even really know how I got up front, but I was up front. We was kind of controlling the race, so I just kind of hung out up there and tried to get the best finish I could.
Always nice to be able to sneak up at the front of the field. Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great finish. Good race for you here tonight. Had a lot of the Max V drivers still in it there towards the end. What is it like trying to race each other, but not race each other too hard when you know you got some of you guys trying to continue the playoff dreams?
It's pretty amazing actually, because nobody's really going to take advantage of anybody. If whoever you're behind, you're almost, especially there at the end when we just had a few laps to go, everybody was kind of just committed to each other, and we was just going to push and just hope that one of us won. And luckily Rob, had an amazing run. He had a great push from Justin, and he was able to get it done. But really, it's kind of neat because it's kind of just like a big old team, and whoever's out front, we're just going to push, and we're going to finish how it's going to be.
Well, fun stuff here tonight. Congrats on a podium. Headed into the final Truck 200 race next week at Chicagoland. We'll hope to talk to you there again. You've got a win at Chicagoland here on the channel in the truck as well. So looking forward to next week. But let's get some shout-outs for you before we let you go.
Yeah, for sure. Got to thank Tommy, Matt, Joshua, Turn 200. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you do for all the sim racing, and especially the Truck 200 deal here. It's been amazing. I've had a blast running it, whether I've finished good at Chicago or not. It's been absolutely fun to do. And then, of course, got to thank Bandit Racing, Hotline, and then all the guys over there at Max V, like you mentioned before. What a great group of guys. And then, of course, Patent Paints for these badass paints that he does for me. They look sharp and looks good. If you need a paint, check him out.
All righty, partner. Thanks for the time here tonight. Thanks for racing with us, and we'll hope to talk to you again one more time next week at Chicagoland.
I hope so. Thank you, guys.
Well, it's his third trip to Booth 200 as a driver, but of course, as Heath Smith just alluded to, you've been hearing them all Thursday night season long with the Max V boys. But Joshua Matacek, still suited up. Hopefully we can hear him through the helmet anyway. But welcome back to the booth, and congrats on the runner-up.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Always glad to be back up here as a driver instead of an announcer.
What an interesting race here tonight. You were in the thick of it all evening long with your unique half and half paint scheme. I mean, you're around some familiar folks that you've been watching off the track on Thursday nights, and right at home with the Venom Truck Series boys at the front of this field all night long as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a blast to obviously get to run with all my Venom patrons, but especially to get the few chances to run with all the guys that I watch on Thursday nights. So super special. Talladega is closest NASCAR track to me in real life as well, so consider it my home track, and average finish of 1.5 now is fantastic at a super speedway. But yeah, unfortunate for the paint. My goal tonight was actually to run the yellow and black Yamaha paint as a tribute to Matt, and Trading Paints just wasn't cooperating, so you got my halfway finished Bristol dirt paint for Venom.
It still looks great though, yeah. But Matt, what you got here?
Yeah, congrats on the great finish, and fun to hear that you were planning on the Yamaha paint. I always enjoyed that one. Yeah, the good run for you here tonight. I gotta ask, we saw your visor both up and down throughout the night on the camera. Is there any glare off the monitors when you got the visor down? Is the visibility any worse or any better? Or?
Surprisingly, no. I think it's still a little stained from dirt racing. So that was a little bit of an issue. I found myself wiping a few times. But the main thing is just obviously it's a sim and not a real car, so there's absolutely no airflow into the helmet. So I've gotten a little fan going in front of me, but it just I'm sweating to death. But no, I this is my fourth time trying to do this, and every time it's been, oh, Matt's not here, whatever. Tommy's not here. No webcams tonight. No in-car cams. So I take it all off, but no, like I said, you know me and webcams. It's always going to be something. But yeah, it was a great race. I really enjoyed it. Working with John Kay, Kyle Zittel, Broman, had an unfortunate early exit. Cole Maxwell was up in there with us, and super fun to race with those guys, not in Venom, and actually work with them as partial teammates in another series. Coming to the line, it was just haywire because I'm in the thick of all the Max V guys, and they're all, the best of the best that I've ever raced with on the sim. So super fun. Always enjoy it. Always enjoy going back and watching it. And just enjoy it.
And 3 runner-ups this season. Chicagoland next week. If you're planning on running, how do we feel about a mile and a half to close it out?
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be Bristol dirt practice for Venom same night. So
that's a good point.
Might have to skip that one out to get back to my roots, but we'll see. Plans change last minute, especially for me. So depends on how I feel. I've never run Chicagoland, so I might have to hop in there and see how it feels and go from there. But you'll definitely always see more of me.
Well, you got some on-track experience against all the folks that you're commentating for Thursday night. We'll look forward to an interesting race at Martinsville here in a couple of days. But, solid stuff here tonight. Congrats on a second place finish here this season. Let's get some shout-outs before we let you go.
Yeah, huge shout-out to, obviously, the Venom guys for letting me hop in and work with them. They've really made me feel at home, just picking up iRacing a little over a year ago. So, huge shout out to them. Shout out to my wife, obviously, for dealing with me sitting full race suit at a simulator for 3 hours. Shout out to my parents for all that they do and for teaching me how to drive and whatnot. Shout out to y'all again for putting this on and giving regular Joe like me opportunity to both be a part in the booth and on the track. Super appreciative of all that y'all do.
Alrighty, partner. Go celebrate a P2, and we'll talk to you again Thursday for sure, but hopefully talk to you again tomorrow as well.
Hopefully so.
2 broadcaster podiums in the last 2 weeks. When the hell is it going to be my turn? Let's pull up your race winner here tonight, the hard charger to boot. How about Rob Haynes sneaking in a win at Talladega here right under the wire in Truck 200? How about it, partner? Congrats.
How about that, Tommy? Isn't that awesome?
Absolutely. And usually I keep the big factoids for the end of the interview, but we'll lead off with the fact that you're now the only driver on the channel that has won more than one race here at Talladega. And seeing you at the front of this field was not a shock. And you were well established in control of this field for the final 2 laps as well. You looked awfully comfortable up there.
That's nice to hear, Tommy. Appreciate that. Thank you. And hey, it's a tough track. We laid back and tried to make sure we were there at the end. Weren't sure what was going to happen or how it was going to go down. We had some fuel strategy lined up, but that didn't work out. And so I just coming to the end there. I wasn't sure what was going to happen coming off 4. I didn't want to go high. I wanted to stick to that yellow line. I could have gone high and maybe tried to block that outside lane, but I didn't think that was the right call. So I hung low and it worked out, Tommy.
Oh, it was a thing of beauty, especially coming there to the wire. You were every way but straight there for the final couple 100 feet there. Did you think you had it under control?
I wasn't 100% sure there was a car to my right when I swerved right there. I was trying to gather the truck, and it just happened to work out. It was a little bit nervy there, but you know what, Tommy? It was a really fun race to be in. A lot of great drivers, and I was really proud to be part of the event tonight that Turn 200 put on, the Layton River Ellison Memorial. you guys are amazing, and our condolences and our thoughts and prayers go out, and thank you for a great evening, and we appreciate it.
Matt, you got anything for the race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the big race win, man. It just seems like you always find a way to get them done here. I don't know if you know how stacked up they were behind you on the backstretch, but when you're taking the bell for the final lap, you're out front. You just have no idea what could occur behind you. Do you find peace in being out front with nobody to worry about in front of you, or is it a little bit scary to know that anybody might be able to run you over at any moment?
Yeah, exactly what you just said there, Matt. Anybody could run you over at any moment. You're biting your nails if you want to take your hands off the wheel at that point, and I usually don't. So, but just saying, you're nervous and you want to get there to the end, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror. So on the rearview mirror, the way I've got it set, I can see a little bit of the outside lane as long as the guy's tight behind me, like Justin was there. So I was keeping an eye on that outside lane, and it didn't start to produce anything until coming off turn 4 there. So, and like I said to Tommy there, I just felt the yellow line was the better option at that point, and it worked out. Barely, and, sideways a couple times, left and right, but it worked out.
Barely's enough, brother. That's all we need. And thank you for the love there. Anybody else you want to shout out before we let you go?
Bandit turned 200, and again, just the Layton River Ellison Memorial Race. I'm really proud to be part of this, guys, and thank you very much. And Bandit Motorsports and my daughters, my family, I love them all, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Turn 200.
Congrats on the win here tonight. Go celebrate. We'll hopefully talk to you again, I'm sure, after another chaotic one in Martinsville.
Thanks a lot, Tommy. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you guys.
Rob Haynes, always a pleasure to have up here in booth 200. Before we let Matt Williamson say his piece, I've got the numbers, and they do not look great for anybody not named Justin Michael. I could tell you that much. Even with the late race slip there for Justin Michael, the advantage is 145 points headed into next week over Gavin Sanders, who is now up to second. Schlosser will be 151 points behind. So, depending on how many trucks show up this next week at Chicagoland, this championship could already be over, but we won't know for another 7 days. It almost went very south there for Justin Michael, another couple 100 feet earlier in the tri-oval, and this championship picture would be completely different. Of course, without contact on pit road, Gavin Sanders may have never left the fold at all here tonight, and who knows how many things would be different, but an interesting one here tonight at Talladega. Not the wildest we've ever seen, but certainly, some hard-fought racing in some very interesting fraught conditions here at Talladega, and that is Truck 200 in a nutshell.
Yeah, they were pretty much getting after it all night. That first little stint before the first caution came out, we had some single file, but boy, from there on out, I think we restarted maybe lap 19 or 20. From there on out, they were getting after it, no doubt about it. Some interesting pit road happenings as well. It was a Talladega race that you would expect here on turn 200, and had a thrilling finish, as it always does. As you mentioned, always a pleasure to have Rob Haynes up here, especially when he's a race winner. So congrats again to the 33 of Rob Haynes, and thank you to everybody that was in the chat with us here tonight. Of course, Don Golden cheering on the Rutherford boys. Joshua Rutherford was in the chat. John K., Robin Monachek, Bayla Marie Monachek cheering on Joshua. Paul Ellison was here for the Layton River Ellison Memorial. Shout out to Paul and all of the family. Allie Hill, Scott Patton, Garrett Rainey for manning the controls for us here tonight in the race control. Always appreciate the help. And I think that was it. I think I got everybody there. So, yeah, thank you guys for chatting with us. Anybody else that was watching, always very much appreciate it. And more broadcasts coming up for you. Tommy is the lead man for a couple more nights this week.
Yeah, the court is back in session tomorrow. Kings Court back open. Nashville Super Speedway for the Venom Truck Series tomorrow night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday night, Max V. It's the hot dog track. It's the paperclip. It's Martinsville. It's always a cluster. And that's not a knock against Max V. Every league, it's a cluster at Martinsville. I don't know why people keep scheduling it, but we'll go there and we'll race, and it will be interesting. And it will certainly be much to watch TV, especially for the finishes, which are always wild there as well. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern time for Max V racing at Martinsville Thursday night. Friday night, it's Jumpy Trucks. The Special Stage Pro Truck Series will take to the Brands Hatch Rallycross course. And that will be a very interesting night as well. 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for that one. But the next Monday, it's it. We are closing up shop after 133 laps at Chicagoland, the home track for myself and Mr. Matt Williamson. That is going to be it. We'll crown a champion. And things looking very interesting in the points right now. So we'll see who will walk away with that title next Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. The truck stops in Chicagoland. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us here tonight. Thank you to Mr. Garrett Rainey for doing race control as well. And thank you to the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. And again, shout out to the Ellison family. Shout out to Paul Ellison for hanging out with us here tonight. On behalf of everybody here with Truck 200, until we meet again from Talladega Superspeedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Rob Haynes, your winner of the Layton River Ellison Memorial here tonight.
This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.